our South Salt Lake Women in Business Happy Hour. We're in person this time at Dented Brick. My name is Terry Slaw, and I work at Gava Talent Solutions. We do staffing and recruiting, and I help employers find employees.
Hi, I'm Debbie Opak. I work at Companion Systems.
And I'm Saria Sabaglasarova. I'm also part of the South Salt Lake Women in Business Committee, and I own Mosaic Bakery, where we're currently going to be serving baklava along with the craft spirits from Dented Brick.
Is your website going to be given to these folks?
I'll put it up.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to make sure you know where to order this. Unbelievable. That's it?
Yeah, that's all we have.
Did you tell me? Go ahead, what?
That's all we have.
That's all we have.
That's it.
Well, this is the third one of these this calendar year, and these happen because this Women in Business group. Terry and Teresa are the co-chairs, and they've got, I don't know, 9, 10, almost 12 women now who just kick butt, take names, and get things done. And we really appreciate it. March, we started off virtually at Shades of Pale Brewing. Last month, virtually. Well, there were a few of us on site at Level Crossing Brewery, and here we are, as she said, first time in person. So watch for your newsletters coming up. We plan to do these every month. And I think we've already got June's planned. June's underway. So anyway, I was here, whatever year it was, you guys can remind everyone.
2015.
2015. I was here with some of you. We'll do some quick intros of people here before I get over to the Dented Brick folks. I was here getting dirt on my shoes when they broke ground. So I've been able to watch this thing come out of the ground. I even bought a brick. They've got a brick program they're going to revitalize. Yes, I like rum. I've got an Antelope Island rum, the first small logo on the rear bumper of my truck. I'm going to start in the back. It's please tell people who you are and your company, and thanks for coming. I know you, Dan.
All right. Hi, I'm Dan Stark from Alpine Promotions.
On the board.
On the chamber board as well.
Lindsay Friend with Custom Canvas Prints. I'm on the South Salt Lake Arts Council board.
I'm Carly Brownis, and I own the National Permanent Cosmetics Academy in South Salt Lake.
My name is Piper Appleton. I work here at Dented Brick as a process engineer.
Walk forward.
Come on.
I'm Greg McDonough. I own the Alpha Graphics here in South Salt Lake, and I'm chairman of the South Salt Lake Chamber.
Nice.
Jeff, I guess we're going to go. Okay,
Just come up here, though.
Right.
Whoever.
Jeff Soper, work for Team Logic IT in South Salt Lake.
I'm Mark Geiselmeyer. I'm with Team Logic IT as well. Jeff and I work together. We're just down the street.
Just a quick pause. Brand new business in the city.
Oh.
And just today they saw a police car chase out of their driveway.
Oh, no.
Very excited. So welcome to South Salt Lake. Go ahead, Sean.
Sean Newell. I'm with Industrial Supply Company.
What else do you do, Sean? What are you doing?
Ah!
Nothing else.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
Okay, come on up for intros.
Tiffany Clayson, I'm the director of the DABC.
Hi, Tiffany.
Yeah, thank you, Karen.
Oh, hi, Joe Torres. I am the sales manager for Dented Brick Distillery.
My name is Tui Tonga. I'm with Dented Brick Distillery. I'm the batch and bottling supervisor.
Harley Norwood. I'm the head distiller at Dented Brick Distillery.
Cool.
Did you guys introduce yourself already? You have it.
I have it. My name is Raphael Askey. I am currently seeking a new opportunity.
Hey, Sharon, tell folks who you are, James.
Sharon Hari with the City of South Salt Lake, Urban Design Director.
Hi, James Brown. I'm with Living and Aging with Pride, a new television show.
My favorite.
Oh. So
getting married, too. You're all invited. Oh, you are married. Well, we live in Utah, so that's okay,
And introduce Scott. Introduce yourself.
Oh, yes.
I am Scott Slaughter. I'm Terry's husband.
Woo! Woo!
And, thanks for coming. And again, keep watching our newsletter. If you don't get our newsletters, make sure to give me your card afterwards. And I'm going to shoot over to, we'll start with you.
Sure.
Wendy was going to do an intro.
One or the other. Thank you everyone for coming. We're very happy to have you here at Dented Brick Distillery. We have been in South Salt Lake City since 2015. This is our 6th year, and we're just grateful to be here. We love doing what we do. We hope that you enjoy it as well. And I'm just going to go defer to Connor to discuss that for you.
Wonderful. Thank you all for coming. My name is Connor Montgomery. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Dented Brick. Filling in tonight on behalf of Mark Christensen, who unfortunately couldn't make it this evening. He sends you all his best. They say that brevity is the soul of wit, so I'll keep this brief. Thank you for being here. We hope you enjoy each other's company. We hope you enjoy the fine baklava. We hope you enjoy the fine spirits. And we hope you all have a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
I'm Gabriella Benitez with Diversified Insurance Group. Yeah, there we go.
What do you do? You help?
Yes, I do employee benefits, so I help companies reduce their health care insurance prices.
That's awesome.
We'll be meeting up in our retail space. If you have any interest in taking a tour of the facility, head up to retail in about 15 minutes and we'll get you guys set up.
Cheers. Welcome to Dented Brick Distillery in South Salt Lake on Washington Avenue. We are here today with the Women in Business from the South Salt Lake Chamber, sharing the love for our local businesses and all things that they produce, including this delicious new pineapple rum. We have a whole series of rum and whiskey and vodka spirits that they manufacture here, and are giving our group a tour. And we would love to have you come pay a visit to our local business and do the same. So I'm just going to tell you a few things about our city and what we do in the creative industry zone in South Salt Lake. We have over, it's growing, 6 or 7, 3 distilleries, 3 breweries, and more on the way in the creative industry zone. And we put on a few events every year. We just wrapped up Mural Fest, and if you go to themuralfest.com, you can see the 10 artists and the amazing pieces of work that they produced, and had our big party 2 weeks ago where it was a meet and greet on the street and see the works of art mostly lining West Temple on a lot of different warehouse buildings and creative industry buildings. Our next big event happens in October, Crafttoberfest, a similar theme with arts and with actually featuring our distilleries and breweries. I get to taste what they're up to and hear music and see locally produced art as well. And we'd love to have you come to our Arts Council website at sslarts.org to learn more about that event too. The city has a lot happening, a lot of new growth, and a lot of new businesses. If you check out sslc.com, you can learn more about our small city, and we hope you join us here.
Here at Dented Brick, we've got over 15 different brands on the market, but you can see them all here. We've got quite a variety. All the way on the far left, we have what we call our well line, which are our value-priced spirits. We do a vodka, a gin, a rum, and most recently, our newest product is a whiskey as well. These are all quite good. They mix very, very well. They're not quite as exciting as our premium line, however. Our premium line is all small batch, done in-house, locally sourced ingredients, grain to glass. We have primarily a vodka, a rum, several whiskeys. Roof Razor Vodka is a blend of wheat and rye. It's quite good. It's got a lot of flavor behind it. I strongly recommend it. It's one of my favorite spirits here. Next to it there, Antelope Island Rum. That was our first product. A blend of Terminato sugar and molasses. Got really great earthy notes behind it. I highly recommend trying it with one of your tastings this evening. Next to that, we have one of our newest products, Moon's Best Rye Whiskey. This is a small batch whiskey, aged 2 years, bottled in bond. Every single step of the process is done in-house. There is nothing quite like it. Strongly recommend trying it this evening. Next to that is Hugh Moon. Those of you who are interested in taking a tour tonight will hear a lot about Hugh Moon, for sure. But Hugh Moon is our white whiskey brand. This is an unaged whiskey, comes directly off of the still. If you haven't tried a white whiskey before, I highly recommend it. Made with 100% rye. You open it up and it smells like fresh baked bread. Really, really spectacular. Next to that, we have one of our newer products, Daddy Stump. Daddy Stump is a peach flavored rum. Really quite striking, quite sweet, but a lot of fun. Really, really excellent in dessert cocktails. Antelope Island Red is a little bit of curiosity. It's our Antelope Island Silver Rum that has been barrel rested for over 3 years in former Phil Cabernet barrels. So it gets an opportunity to pick up a finish that's almost whiskey-like, but it picks up some red wine notes as well. Really, really distinctive, perfect for rum lovers. Next to that is my personal favorite, the Bristlecone Gin. It's got a very floral boutique, made with a blend of coriander, fennel, angelica root. It's got a very floral back end. It's got a lot of character for a gin, so if you're a gin lover, I strongly recommend trying it this evening. And then the last 3 products we have on offer tonight are going to be the Jan Stevenson private label. These are all different blended rums, flavored with different fruit concentrates. We have a pineapple, we have a passion fruit, and we have a mango as well. These are very sweet. If you're a fan of very, very sweet spirits, you will like these, I guarantee it. I think each of you have your tasting tickets as well. You can redeem each of those for a half-ounce pour tonight, and we're excited to get you guys set up.
So as you can see on those shelves there and on the bar, we have various different kinds of spirits that we make here. From rum. Rum is the main thing that we make. That's what we started with, but we make more than just rum. Vodka, gin, whiskey. And here's a nice little display of the raw ingredients that we use. If you're going to call your spirit a rum, it has to be made from sugarcane or molasses. If you're going to call your spirit a gin, it has to have juniper. This place was just empty. I know Dan's been around. He can attest to that. When you were here in 2016, you could see all the way back to the back wall. Now it's been filled up a whole lot more. And they built this big so we can expand here in the distillery instead of having to find a new spot like some distilleries are having to do right now, which it sucks for them. It's a good problem to have, but it sucks because they gotta go buy a new building. Who wants to do that? But when we get all this started, we start with the mash process. And that's gonna happen right in here. And when I say mash, we're literally mashing all of those raw ingredients together. That's why we call this the Mash Cooker 1. But there's other stuff in there that we don't want that can be harmful for our mash. So we gotta sterilize it, so we heat it on up and start adding the raw ingredients. Now when we're dealing with the sugar, we just gotta mix it all together and make sure everything's hitting those right key points, and then we're ready for our fermentation once the temperature is dropped. But when we're dealing with whiskey, like I was mentioning before, those raw grains that we have are not malted. So we need to do the malting process during the mash process, which means we have to add specific enzymes, there's a few of them, We had to add them in the right pH balance and the right temperature and give them the right rest period so those enzymes can break those starches, those polysaccharides down into their mono, their smaller sugar sizes. So when we're ready for the fermentation, the yeast can eat those sugar molecules and then convert them to alcohol and CO2. I like to use this analogy. It's fun. Imagine your sugar as the cherry and your yeast is Pac-Man. But if the cherry's bigger than Pac-Man's mouth, he can't eat it. So we gotta break it down into a small enough bit so our Pac-Man yeast can consume that sugar. And when it does that, it converts it to alcohol and CO2. And that is how we make alcohol. That's how everyone makes alcohol. Essentially, we're making a beer here, but we don't, it's not your like kind of beer. It's very thick, the whiskey's really sour. You can drink it and get drunk, you're just gonna have to drink a lot of it. It's not really the highest quality of beer. In fact, we bring our raw ingredients all the way over into the distillation room, so that means that we can't call it a wort like brewers do. Brewers call their what we call our wash, they call it a wort because they separate all the raw ingredients out. We don't do that. Now, when we make our gin, what we're going to do is we're going to take the vodka, starts as vodka, and we throw it in that stainless steel tote right there with and we throw the burlap sacks there, fill it up with our botanicals to create the gin flavor profile. So with our most popular gin, or what I call the well gin, or the premium craft gin, the green label, it's got lemon peel and grapefruit peel as well as the juniper to give it that kind of smoother, more lighter, citrusier kind of taste. Now, we let that macerate for, what, about a week or so?
48 hours.
48 hours. Look, they were doing a week before you, so. That's why I asked you.
Dialed it in.
Dial it in, but we let it macerate to take on all those flavors, but it's also taking on oils and colors as well. And so we throw it in the still one more time, do another series of cuts, therefore we take away all that color, but we're keeping that flavor and we're getting rid of the heads and the tails as well, giving you a cleaner spirit. We could just call that a gin, but it's before we do that third distillation, you know. Now, last thing before I turn the time over to Harley, vodka. We make our vodka through this column. Now, vodka, in order to classify your spirits of vodka, it has to be distilled at a distillation proof about 90% alcohol by volume, which means that the hearts that are flowing out of this glass tube during our distillation we want to have it steadily flow around 90% ABV. And we can do that by setting it through our column here, because each section it goes through, and you can notice the section by where the windows are, and it starts from our pot still and goes to the column. So it technically starts in the first column and then goes on to the second vodka column there. But each section it's going through, we're removing more of those unwanted molecules and chemicals and allowing the chemicals that are closer to pure ethanol to pass through. All the rest are going to condense and trickle down until it gets hot enough, down lower still, re-vaporize and keep passing through. But on each section it goes through, it's gonna act as its own distillation, and you're gonna get that vapor closer to what we want as pure ethanol. And so by the time it gets to the very top of that still, we have what's called our deflevimator, which is a condenser that we set it, I like to call it the catch-all, because if at that point, if your vapor can't hack it at that alcohol percentage that we need, it's gonna condense and trickle down until it can get hot enough and rise back up. So because we have that column, we're able to distill our vodka to that high proof using just the column, and we don't have to do it more than one time. And we call it roof raiser vodka because the still is so high that they had to put the skylight above it to actually literally fit it in the building. Kind of a little oops. And a big oops. And that's where we get the name Roof Raiser Vodka for our premium vodka. So, that's like I said, Reader's Digest of our distillation process. And our head distiller Harley here is here to elaborate a little bit more. And if you have any questions, what's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie? Mm-hmm. That's my mom's name.
Oh, well,
Debbie had a question already on how long the gin process takes.
Okay. Just as far as from start to
Start to finish, till you bottle it. And
So 48-hour maceration, so it takes us about an hour to weigh out all the botanicals, charge the maceration tank with spirit at 100 proof, and then macerate for 48 hours. After 48 hours, we do 2 distillations out of that, and we will then have about 300 gallons of gin ready to go. And then we will cut it down, we'll take it, cut it down to bottling strength, which is 80 proof, and then we'll bottle it. So about 4 days all in for 300 gallons. But we're typically running more than 300 gallons. This last batch we created 14 pallets, which was about 1,200 gallons. Just over 12.
Wow.
So that process took us a week and a half.
Yeah.
For 14 pallets.
Is whiskey the only one that you sit in a barrel and let it age, or do you age rum? Or?
We have rum in Cabernet barrels, Cab Sauv and Cab Franc barrels, which is our antelope red. We also have gin in Chardonnay barrels, which is not a product yet, but it's tasting pretty delicious.
Oh.
It's very promising. We like the direction it's going. We also have rum in used bourbon and rye barrels that we will release a spiced rum this fall.
Oh.
Our first spiced rum. Excited about that as well.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, basically you can put just about any spirit into a barrel, but vodka is not good on the other end of the barrel. There's some limitations. Anyone else have any questions?
I do. Can you run multiple products in here at the same time, or do you have to clean it all out of whiskey to do rum?
So we can run a stripping distillation and so low wines and high wines, or a finished distillation, at the same time. We have not needed to do that yet with our current production plan, but we will see that eventually. But no, we can't finish, or we can't run any like 2 different finished runs of distillations in here at the same time.
You take a minute, unless one of you done it, I missed it. Describe that barrel program. The barrels we see out there with people's names on them.
Yeah, so we have a barrel program here at Dented Brick where we allow people to come in and buy a barrel, which essentially is an investment in the raw materials for that barrel. Then we produce the spirit, barrel it, and in 2 years' time, when it becomes our Moon's Best Rye Whiskey, you can get a 20% back return on investment with your investment, and then the rights to purchase the barrel or all the bottles from that. To keep it legal, we have to pay you back, and you can buy them. You have a purchase option that we just, we'll hold these aside.
Is that going well? I see a lot of barrels.
Yes, I'm very far behind. It's going too well. Not really, I'm joking about that. But yeah, it's going pretty well. We're currently about 60 barrels. So, which big production?
Which of your products are most in demand? Gin, rum, whiskey, vodka.
Vodka is the #1 selling spirit across the board, all segments. So our well vodka, value price point, $15.99. Very, very good, clean vodka. We put a lot of work into it. It's 95% of our sales.
Wow.
And so the 97% of the company's sales is here in Utah. And vodka, it sells all day. Our second biggest would be the craft rum, and then third would be the craft gin. Craft rum and gin, they're kind of, gin's inching in on rum. So
if you can share it, what station are you now in with product?
So Utah, obviously. We are in Washington. We are in California. We are in Arizona now. We just landed some Total Wines accounts. So if you're ever in Arizona, stop by Total Wines. We hope to become have more and more products out there in Total Wine stores across the country. We're in Florida, we're in New York, we're in Missouri, and then we have some minor accounts in Wyoming, and Idaho still has a little bit of stuff we're trying to work with them again.
I would like Terry and Teresa to wrap this up. These don't happen without the Women in Business Group. Yay! And you, when you, if you didn't stop, you walk through the retail room on the way in here. If you like some of what you tasted, I don't get a commission.
We're buying some vodka.
It's on the way out the door. Go ahead.
On my diet. I can do vodka on the keto diet. Okay. All right, you guys. This has been fun. It has been a really treasure just meeting all of you guys in person. And Dented Brick, what an amazing job, Dented Brick. Thank you so much for the tastings. And we have this amazing baklava from Mosaic Bakery.